I was on the recent graduates panel, Pecha Kucha panel at Design Indaba, and I just talked about one of the books that I created for my graduate exhibition. We're only at 6 minutes, so I couldn't focus on a lot of things, so I decided to focus on only one of those books. And instead of showing just the final artwork, I decided to talk about all the work that went into the behind-the-scenes making of this one book. So I talked about all the different illustration styles I'd explored, the way I approached the text, the way I approached, like I tried to do everything by hand. I tried to come up with illustrations that suited the text both stylistically and conceptually. I focused my research for my thesis and my practical work on poetry and illustration, like the two art forms that I really love. And for this particular book, which was called The Boy with the Fire in His Boot, I took one of my friend Catherine Kaladi's poem by the same name, and I wanted to explore that. And the poem is about a fire that breaks out in the Titsikoma forest. And this little boy wakes up amidst all this commotion. He goes outside to investigate, and he gets caught in the middle of the fire. And then the poem ends the next day at dawn when ash is falling down on what remains of the forest. So the challenge for me was, partly because I loved the poem so much, was like, what kind of images could I draw that would add to an already satisfactory reading experience, and like what can I do to like add to this, like to do these beautiful words justice. I tried lots of different illustration styles. Just trying to find my way into the poem. I found that a lot of my earlier attempts were very like pretty, too decorative. The fire, I kind of got the sense of the fire, but it was very like stylistically a bit too uptight. So I kept trying different techniques. I tried to abstract it. I tried copying other people's fire explorations to see what I could learn from that. What I learned about the fire was that instead of drawing the fire itself, I should rather draw the little patch of light that is illuminated in the darkness. So I should rather paint the light that the fire casts and also the silhouettes cast by this little light. So I started drawing basically the inverse, not the fire, but everything around it. And I did that by using a gouache resist technique. And it's built up on 3 layers. And the first layer is the acrylic layer, which is the brightest part of the fire. And then I would paint with a gouache paint, which is a water-based paint. I would paint all the brightest parts and the silhouettes in reverse. And then over that, I would have a very dark gouache ink layer. And then once it's all dry, I washed it off. So the second layer would wash off. It was a really interesting process to get to the end result. I think I probably made my life a lot harder than it needed to be. But I thought, if I'm going to do my master's, there's no point in just stopping at whatever looks pretty and whatever is just fine. I want to really push myself and do something absolutely amazing. And I wanted to, for myself, also learn new techniques and maybe find a new ground in myself.